Start is brought to you by Carbone Lawyers. Don't settle for less.
He's a star, Jordan Childs. Another man that's a star is John Carlton. His best bet comes up in race number 2 at Morphetville. We head into the mounting yard for this 1,550-metre benchmark 74. The top weight and favourite, John, is Alpine Flyer.
As you can see in the yard, she's a good-looking daughter of Alpine Eagle there. In general, there's a lot of beautiful black horses by this sire. She's been racing well, and importantly, she's been racing in stronger races. She comes out of a black-type race that Chicago Storm won last start. She finished just forward of midfield. She was excellent 2 starts ago at Oakbank, winning in Mares Grade, where she sat off them and charged home. Probably settles 3rd or 4th in the run. Beautiful claim for Rochelle Milnes. Good grade that she's in here. It's her race to lose.
Test the Law gets back up in trip, second up.
Generally a very consistent horse, and he had a great preparation last prep, which culminated in a 3rd in the Strathalbyn Cup, and he filled the placings at something like 8 starts in a row. Didn't do anything first up, which is unusual, and it's also a bit of a worry, but he can bounce back quickly, can settle more forward. Worsfold
makes the trip across the border for Nick Ryan.
Yeah, Worsfold's always been a horse with good ability, gets a long way back, and that's problematic at this track. The other thing that you and I both noticed, JT, in race 1, horses really struggled to make ground, and it's possibly due to the wind. It's an unusual wind here today. It's a southeast wind, which gives them assistance all the way from about the 800-metre mark. Worsfold was okay last up, but got a long way back. He might have that trouble here.
Texan Windstorm lines up here, Jake Toroke and John McMillan.
This horse won't have a problem being back in the field. I think he'll either lead or settle second here. The map is very good for him. He likes this track. He's won 4 races at the track. Senior rider Jake Toroke will be strong on him when he needs to, and he'll be in front of the other favourites in the run.
Philip Stokes chasing a race-to-race double with Jenkins.
Yeah, Jenkins is another honest horse, but like Worsfold, he's going to be back in the field and giving the favourite Alpine Flyer a start, let alone Texan Windstorm. Racing very consistently and rarely runs poorly.
Second start in South Australia for the 6, Rose of Dewporth.
Did nothing first up behind Aviatrix. Gone back to the barrier trials at her home track of Gawler since then, and the stable put blinkers on in the trial and they got a better result. She won a trial there, beating the city performer Ichiban San. Might be able to take a more forward position, and we might see an improvement, but she certainly needs to.
Peter Moody and Tegan Vuram chasing a three-peat here with Red Sequoia, looking for 3 on the bounce.
Yeah, the other 2 wins that he's had recently have been over 2,000 metres plus, and he comes right back in trip and goes up in grade. I think this run might be just used to get him fit for something further.
And the horse that potentially looks the speed influence, the 8, Run and Tell.
Yeah, well, the Ali Brooks stable would have been happy to see what happened in race 1, where horses struggled to make ground, because Run and Tell looks the leader here. 1550 would be as far as he wants, but the map is something that might give him a rough chance here.
You're pretty keen on the top weight, the class runner?
I think so. Alpine Flyer beautifully in this race now after 3 claim for Rochelle Milnes. Can lay in a little bit and do things wrong in her races, but if she's tractable enough, she's certainly got the ability to win this. The 2nd and 3rd, I put in Jenkins, who's always consistent, and Texan Windstorm, who will be in a good spot.
1, 5, 4 and 2. John's numbers there. Brett Davis's selections. He's gone 1, 4, 5 and 3. Alpine Flyer on top is the punter's pick as we head upstairs for race 2.
The gate's riderless at the moment. It's also still to move forward. Alpine Flyer has gone into the gates. Worsfold is the one we await on. Worsfold to be ridden by Jason Holder today, with Todd Pannell not riding. Now Run and Tell comes in, Rose of Dewporth, and Worsfold will complete the line for the 2nd of the afternoon here at Morphetville. Sun is out. Not a cloud in the sky, actually, just very cool. But we've got a hot favourite, Alpine Flyer. Odds on, 2nd of the day. Light continues to blink. All clear from behind. They're off. Rose of Dewporth, Red Sequoia, Worsfold. Even Jenkins, to some extent, a little slow to move. Best away, Run and Tell, zooms to the front. Texan Windstorm. Now Worsfold quickly whipping up a storm wider out, and he's moving to 2nd. Run and Tell on top as they head by the 1,200 metres. Leads a length and a half. to Worsfold now into second position. Rose of Dewporth a little keen third. Texan Windstorm gun run. Alpine Flyers 3 deep, no cover in the small field as they work to the side. Then Red Sequoia test the law. Last of all on settling is Jenkins. Run and Tell is running by 2.5 lengths on Worsfold. Rose of Dewporth a length away to Texan Windstorm, who continues to keep Alpine Flyer deep. Red Sequoia the rail. And then second to last is Test the Law, and 2 back patiently is Jenkins at the rear. Run and Tell, given a good time on speed by Price, shows the way 600 metres out. Worsfold ready to strike. Rose of Dewporth. Texan Windstorm, the first to feel some real pressure. Alpine Flyers still just hovering there 3 deep, coming around at Test the Law. Jenkins tracking up nicely, 5 to make up near the tail as they swing with Red Sequoia. Run and Tell on top, turning in. Worsfold, Rose of Dewporth. Now Alpine Flyer, Test the Law. Now Jenkins is getting into the clear. Run and Tell's under sufferance. Alpine Flyer, Worsfold. Jenkins wider out's closing. Jenkins is after Run and Tell, who fights on. Jenkins rounds up Run and Tell and goes on to score. Jenkins from Run and Tell. Alpine Flyer third. Fourth, close. Worsfold, Red Sequoia, Test the Law wider out. Then Rose of Dewporth. And Texan Windstorm was under hard riding, turning in and finished last.
Well, the Stokes stable had a great Adelaide Autumn Carnival, including a Group 1 victory and a couple of Group 1 place getters. John, they've continued their form in the first 2 races post the Carnival here with an early double. Jenkins, too good from the back.
Very consistent horse, Jenkins, and although possibly not that well suited around the Parks track as he's a get-back horse, he was well handled there by Caitlin Jones. Nice patient ride, and things didn't go that well for a couple of the other favoured runners, most notably Alpine Flyer, who was caught 3 wide, no cover from gate 5.
With Adam Brewster from the Stokes stable. Good day at the office so far with a nice double. Good to see this horse break through.
Super. He's a bit of a stable favourite. He's an old boy who's still loving his racing. Lovely ride from Caitlin Jones then. She's got a good record on him. That's 3 rides for 2 wins in a second and a close second. So really happy with him. His work's been super leading into it, and Jonesy actually went into it really confident today. It was good.
So there was, some optimism that, he could find something like his best. He's been sort of peppering the stumps, running well without winning this campaign.
Yeah, a couple of times he's been unlucky. He's a back marker and always needs some speed on. He got that today. He's always about the mark. Today he's been carrying big weights all the time. Today we've managed to get him into a little bit of weight relief. I think he dropped about 3 kilos on his last run, and it made the difference.
Well done.
Thank you.
Caitlin, he's just been waiting for you to jump back on to win another race. Well done.
Yeah, it's a nice little rapport we've got, me and Jenkins. The team's done a great job with him, and they've sort of worked him out now as far as timing with his runs and keeping a little bit on that fresher side. They tested him over the 18 earlier in the prep, and not sure he's convinced at the distance, so that mile mark seems to be about perfect. 15.50 to here today on the Parks, but he was very impressive.
You're watching it unfold up in front. He was travelling like he was always going to have something to offer at the end.
He was, yeah. Look, he just sort of comes out the gates. He's pretty casual, so I took my medicine. I thought I'll just take him back to the fence and allow him to travel happily. I've won on doing that before on him, so I had the right horse in front to take me into the race. It was just when I was going to be able to be close enough, which I had plenty of horse coming into the corner, and we got that nice little gap, and he was really solid when he sprinted.
Too good?
Very much so, thank you.